I am excited about this. I have been playing my Xbox, and let's talk about Xbox again. I've been all over the internet for the last week and a half to 2 weeks. I've been on many podcasts with many amazing people. If you go on my Twitter, you can see what shows I have been on, and I've been fortunate enough to be guests on so many different shows, so many different great content creators lately. And a lot of the conversation has been around Xbox. And it's not because Matt here is just an Xbox fanboy. No, I like my Xbox, so suck it. But I do enjoy my Xbox, but I have my PS5. I just feel like I don't have anything to play on PS5 until Ratchet & Clank. By the way, youtube.com/assemble show. Because guess what? We talk PS5. Brandon, talking to you. You best be over here. Your friend Matt? Yeah. Ratchet & Clank, Rift Apart. New character. We got Rivet. And I'm excited. Look at my stupid face. Huh? You like that? Go check that out. Look at that. 77 views. Help me out, Brandon. Be a pal. Watch it all the way through. Completion. Be a completionist. Get over there. Ratchet & Clank, Rift Apart, PS5. I'm excited about that. We had that coming into the news today. youtube.com/assemble show. I've got everything there for you guys. Xbox Fidelity news. Latest AMD tech. This one comes from Tech Radar, guys. Latest AMD tech is coming to your Xbox Series X in a blow for PS5. Mine's blown and blow to the PS5 because it's not going to be able to handle it. Improved visuals coming? Question mark. If that's not going to be clickbait, I don't know what is. Too bad for you. That's a fun effing name. I'm all in. Loving your content from across the pond in London, UK. Keep it up. Too bad for you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for popping in. Thanks for saying hi. Xbox, AMD, tech, being unlocked. I got excited. Did you guys see this article that came out? Did you guys see all this news? It was all over my Twitter, on the Twittersphere about all of this. I am very excited. AMD's Fidelity FX technology right here in the article has been added to the Xbox Series XS game development kit, officially announced through the AMD gaming Twitter account. It's always Twitter now. You notice that? We don't get any news from like sites. I go on my Twitter feed. I get bombarded with stuff all damn day. It's amazing. It's great. Internet's cool. This will allow developers, read with me, boys. This will allow developers to implement graphical features on the Xbox S consoles that were previously limited to PC, where Fidelity FX was initially made available. AMD's Fidelity FX tech is adaptive software that offers a variety of image sharpening enhancements for developers to more easily implement into their games. Standout features of Fidelity FX include variable shading, screen space reflections, and ambient occlusion. The hell is an ambient occlusion? I am not a PC player, but that sounds killer. It's probably some lighting. Chat, tell me, what ambient occlusion? I figure ambient lighting, moving, that type of thing. I'm too stupid. All of which add significant visual depth to an image without compromising game performance. AMD and Xbox just pumping out good news. I don't want to go through the entire article, guys, but AMD Gaming themselves put it out and say Fidelity FX is here for Series X and S. Developers can now offer incredible visuals and platform-specific benefits. Fidelity FX already delivers on over 40 PC games. Good Lord. Further fidelity. It's only been out of development for Xbox kits. It will likely be a while before we start seeing how AMD's tech benefits console gaming. However, Fidelity FX could represent a breakthrough moment for future Xbox exclusives like Fable, Perfect Dark, and Everwild. Well, F me, Brandon B. That is insane. How they are going to do this. This is clearly not going to be coming right now. It's not going to be coming up in the next month, 6 months, or a year. We are a ways away from the Fidelity piece coming in and being unlocked and seeing this. But it's very exciting that we are going to be seeing this with developers now being able to get their hands on it, blowing our minds away with more tech being unlocked from the Xbox. That's what's really cool. Not having to get a the talks of developers working on, the next version of the Series X in a new console being updated with new chips or anything. What's really cool is that it's just about unlocking the power of the existing console and the existing system. That blows Matt's little brain away, because it's really, really awesome that we're not hearing about having to get into the next console. It's more about just that AMD is going to be unlocking this for Xbox developers to be able to maximize visuals. This came up on Green Pass Gaming, a podcast I was on yesterday, and I loved being on that show. It was really, really fun. And we talked all about Xbox. And the one question that came up, and I would wonder all of this to all of you in the chat as well. Andrew Barrasso, good to see you. Howdy ho, my friend. Any 2K22 news? No. And Brandon, Andrew, you're the second person that's asked me about 2K22 news. I don't have any yet, unless you're teasing me and there is some, and I don't know yet. But we'll check it out today on the show. Let me know. We were talking about this on the show yesterday for Green Pass Gaming. Do you think, I'm asking all of you in the chat, howdy ho, all of you fine members, do you think that Xbox would get to a point where it is allowing PC style adjustments, being able to modify and select different things for graphical enhancements? We see right now, being able to toggle between 30 FPS and 60 or 120, and then seeing some things like ray tracing on and off, yada, yada, even on the PlayStation side. Do you think, this came up on yesterday's show, do you guys think that Xbox, and thinking about the AMD update that we see right now, do you think that Xbox would go down this path? That future titles, and let's just say Fable or Perfect Dark, and let's just say that Fable and Perfect Dark are taking advantage of the new AMD Fidelity FX. Do you feel that they would actually be able to go in a game like that, like Fable, have it so that players could actually modify or do more selection for what they turn on and off to optimize the experience they want on their console? I'm of two minds of this, because on one hand, it's not something I think console players really want. I think console players, big picture, large scale, all of us are pretty in the know, knowing of what's going on in the world of Xbox, PlayStation gaming. And we know about our ray tracing, our sliders in 30 to 60. But the general consumer out there, the really wide, broad consumer, I don't think they give a crap about being able to adjust things within the game. I think that from a console perspective, that type of player, family, whatever, is looking to get the box, turn on the box, and play the game. And they don't care about doing those things. And on the PC side, it's entirely different world, and they have made that part of the culture on the PC side for the last, forever, of that being the expectation and what you kind of thrive in within that environment of being able to modify and tailor the gameplay experience the way you want on your PC, on your rig. I feel personally that console players don't really thrive or don't really, want or are requesting to get that built into the consoles. Little things like having 60 FPS to 30, RT mode on and off, that type of thing. I like that. That's kind of enough for me. That's the end of what I would want to see from that, because really it don't need much more than that. And where the technology, what's able to be outputted today too. And think about it too, guys, like the mass amount of players out there that are playing consoles, are playing on their, on the couch, and they got their TV, they have a flat screen TV, they're still running at their 1080p TV. They may have just gotten into a 4K TV in the last just few years, getting into like 120 hertz and into that almost PC space more and more, about taking advantage of all of that. They are still going to be like blocked by what is actually being outputted with their television set if they are watching on TV. And again, PC market, totally different. We're in that space. PC players are in that space to have that optimized killer experience and get that 120, and they know what they are after. On the traditional player side of Xbox, in my opinion, they're looking for a plug and play experience, because like the OLED TVs are still really high in price and markup. So it's going to be a long time before those things come down. and then we see any more modifications. I think for the time being, for the next few years, this is the maximum change we see or integration we see that makes it feel like a PC or PC Lite, where we have just like, hey, turn RT mode on and off and go from 30 to 60. By the way, Matt here, I got to tell you something. Brandon B, Diego, thanks for coming by. King Doom Gaming, how are you doing? WWE Dakota, Sonic Blue, good to have you back. All of you. I'm going to tell you something right now. Matt, he's lived in a world of consoles, playing at 30 frames per second, like a schmuck, his whole life, his whole childhood. Little old man boy here, 30. I go into something like Spider-Man, when they updated and they gave Matt 60 frames. Brandon B, I lost my mind. I can't go back. I understand now. I know now, Brandon B, what everyone is talking about when they say you get 60, you never go back. You can't handle it. It has to have 60 frames per second. I understand now. I'm with you. I always love graphics. But when I got like Spider-Man at 60 and Miles Morales at 60 frames per second, and even when they updated it and they gave me ray tracing modified, all of that, plus 60, it's too much.